Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to continue on our journey to complete our NaNoWriMo project. These themes that I'm going to pull from the Gift of Virtue Clarity deck is going to help you to perhaps build a character, build a side quest, help you inject some life into your NaNoWriMo project, or perhaps just create a standalone project that you can do to either build a novel or anything to that effect. So I'm just going to get started, and our themes for today are sovereignty, generality, and serenity. So these three themes here are really good themes for us to use. And again, they can be treated as character traits, or we can treat them as general themes, or we can treat them as settings. So for instance, when we look at serenity, we can start thinking about that in terms of a place where serenity actually happens. And so if you're looking for a setting, you might want to say that a character needs to go someplace. So they might leave. This is how some novels like the Tuscan Sun thing, I forgot what it was called, from about 15 years ago, that basically someone decided to go off and go to Tuscany and find love. And so you can find that. So you can think about serenity as a way of drawing a side quest, or maybe a character is at a breaking point and you need to have them go somewhere, or you have them go somewhere, or the character decides to just step away, the fortress of solitude in that way. And so the second one is sovereignty, and can be thought of as a character trait. Think about it in terms of our ability to own our own position and our identity. So think of it this way. There are other ways of looking at sovereignty, but it's all about control and individualization. And so, are you a sovereign entity? Do you believe in your own sovereignty? Do you not believe in your own sovereignty? So when you're writing your short stories, you might have your characters ask those types of questions. So in a relationship that might not be going so well, that might be somewhat toxic, someone might wonder why this person isn't asserting their own sovereignty. And so they might need to go and find a place where they can find serenity to do so. And so that leads us to the third theme for today, which is generality. And generality, again, is just sort of the abstraction of a concept. It's just what it is in its most basic format. So when you're looking at this, if we're looking at a relationship, when we boil it down to its essence, that's its generality. So if we're having a very toxic relationship, what is it at its core? Does this person in this relationship have anything going on at its core? In general, is this relationship doing us any good? Does that character have his or her sovereignty to continue going forward? And do they need to go somewhere to find some peace so that they can be their best self? So that they can regain their sovereignty, and that this all sort of comes from the fact that when they boil the relationship down to its most general form, in its general form, nothing is working. So generality is really good at bringing us back down to the core of what is going on. And so this is what we need to figure out. What are the universal themes within this relationship? So that's how I would look at this. So these themes are a little bit challenging, this one here, especially generality, but the whole idea is when you boil something down, things get complex in our stories, and sometimes boiling down a relationship to its core so that people can start asserting their sovereignty and really moving forward. This might be a problem in a story where two people are always at odds, and they're always at odds and they just never get anything right. And so at some point that has to resolve. You can't have nonstop conflict, otherwise the story never ends. And so someone has to sort of say, do I still belong here? And so with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope this helps. And again, I hope that your journey on the NaNoWriMo quest is leading you down some wonderful roads. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go, and I'll see you in the next video.